In this quarantine period, so many people are stuck in spaces where they might not be feeling very comfortable. Some people are stuck with families who are not very welcoming to them. Some are stuck with partners who are not very accommodative. And some are by themselves, which could get very, very lonely. To me, my role at this stage is to be able to tell relatable stories with people who are in such situations, from the frontline person, the person who is at home, the child who's trying to study from home. This kind of art makes people feel like we are all in this together. You're not by yourself, and that someone else understands what you're going through.
They say art is a form of expression. Now, Nicy is using her art to share her feelings, her emotions, and personal experiences on canvas. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Hi.
It's been a while.
Karibu.
Nice, thank you.
Welcome to my studio.
Wow, wow, wow. I like what I'm seeing on the walls.
Nice. Yeah, karibu sana.
All these pieces of art are inspired by different experiences and feelings and other forms of art.
What this piece means to me is I'm being trapped in your thoughts and being disentangled in your own overthinking, creating a own world that stifles your way of thinking. And this really is something that I'd gone through, and I stopped at some point because I felt like I needed to reach out to understand who I am and get myself off the webs that I was trapping myself in. The second part of this 4 series is this that I call People. I love this painting because it shows like how coming from this state to this, it involved me understanding the people that are holding my hand, the tribe that I resonated with, people who could guide me to the right direction, and I could work with them. And while also at the same time, my choice of green is like connecting with nature, because that's something I realized that it really worked well for me in understanding my whole self-introspection journey. This is a very big piece that will need you to actually look at it to understand it. If you can see, it's like a distorted face. You can see the eyes and the mouth put on this, on the other side, like putting aside your speeches. So after growing from the people's part, coming back to myself, I felt like I need to also understand my whole spiritual being by focusing on the powers that are within me to give myself the best value that I ever think about. Then my choice of color on the upper part is like the sunset-ish value, because I love sunset very much, and they really make me feel like I'm connecting and getting to a better version of myself. But the whole thing that really matters for me in this painting is this part. Putting aside your speech and be able to concentrate on your inner power before giving an opinion. Normalize saying I'm not informed enough to give an opinion in that, because it saves you so much and makes you stay at peace at the place you thrive the most. For me, nature. And this is my favorite piece in this whole series. It's a whole journey of recreating oneself, doing it over and over, giving myself a chance to revamp who I am. This canvas, I've had like more than 4 paintings on it before I did my last painting, which I'm finally satisfied about. I had like different layers. I don't know if you can see how texturized this is. Like, it had so many layers of trying to unveil what really makes me happy. Choice of a dream catcher as the topic of this painting is showing that the universe is working for me. It values my dreams, and that everything is working for me, and I can do anything I want to do as long as I focus on my inner power and choose my speeches nicely and connect with things that work well for me while working with people who value with me, that I value as well, and getting away from the first person that I used to be. So this is really very personal to me.
During this period where you were working from home and things like that, what have you been doing? How have you been spending your time?
So for the past 6 weeks, the main thing I've really focused on is on classes, educating myself to learn new skills over this period. So I took a class with Milan Institute about creation of abstract and with mixed media. That's something I'm very passionate about. This was my first piece that I was using to learn, and the value I got from this, from feedback from people, it makes them feel calm and feel like they're ready to go out already. And when all this is over, I hope we're able to meet together and enjoy the beauty of nature together with people who love art and love to connect with other people, the tribe. So this was a 3-part series again. This was the first class, then I did the second part, which I'd show you. It was made from denim. mainly because I'm not able to buy canvas. I'm not leaving the house at this moment, so I had to create internally and get to see how can I create my own canvas. And I also use like different inks and what's actually in the house. I have turmeric on this, there's coffee on this, there's salt in this, there's tea on this. So many nice cocktails of products that make this thing come out as it is, and I love it very, very much. Then the third part, I say this one. If this doesn't make you happy, you need to do a very deep soul search. It really makes me happy myself. Yeah, so this period has just been for me to introspect and learn. So this is about the frontline workers during this period, people who don't have the luxury of staying home like I am right now. These are the nurses, the journalists, the riders, and food vendors who still have to serve people. They're doing so much staying on the front line to make sure life continues. This is like an appreciation paint for them. Like, we are staying home. It's really hard, as you can see. This is someone who's been working for more than the normal hours. They're very, very tired. They have the eye bags. They've not been sleeping. Their body is literally weak. It's not complete, but this is, for me, it's me sharing my support to the frontline workers during this COVID period. Humans are visual beings. Before I remember what I had, it's easy for me to remember what I saw. So for me, art becoming an expressionism artist, it's giving people a chance to understand other people's story, get into their zone through their feelings by what they see, or also let them experience by just the power of brush and paint, saying, how do I feel? How can I tell my story if I don't have enough words for it? And even being able to guide people through that conversation part of it really makes me happy, knowing that I'm supporting people by being able to help them tell their stories visually. Whenever I'm painting, I live for the moment. I'm doing it while being so honest with my expressions through this, so that when it's done, the person who gets to see this, my final audience, can see the people's personal struggles through a painting. If you look at most of my paintings, they're mostly about self-introspection, understanding pure self, being able to connect with nature, understanding who you are, getting yourself in a best mental space. So the end goal for me is to make sure the person that gets this painting is able to relate and at best be able to get to a higher version of themselves. When all this is over, I hope we're able to meet again, share some hugs and share some nice stories, share some art. My name is Nicy Amala. I'm an abstract expressionist based in Nairobi, Kenya.
Mobile Journalism Africa. Our stories are best told by us.